You want to?
Okay.
Let's just get into it. You want to go first?
Yeah, I will go first. Do you, and maybe this is just like me, but do you think just it's because morticians are near death all the time that they look fucking disgusting and they're like pasty and white and they have kind of slicked hair? Do you think it's just being close to
Oh,
death? Do you think they hose them down before you get your mortician card? They're like, okay, here you're in. Let's hose you down. Let's
I
give
think
you the
that
card.
I think that's an astute observation. Yeah, I think what it. I mean, back when I used to live in Virginia, I wore flannels and khakis and stuff. I think it's you dress like whoever you think is cool around you. And these morticians, they see this dead body
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, but they dress well. Like
This
they're
guy died of a
well.
gunshot wound. That's pretty cool. I want to
They're
look at that
well
kid.
dressed, but they're so like I just think they're pretending or practicing or getting prepared for when they're going to be on the table. They're gross as they're so disgusting. I can't, and I get grossed out thinking about that after I die. That guy gets to play with my body because
Which he will definitely do.
oh yeah, yeah. And I think my problem isn't that he gets to, it's that he wants to. That there's like an
I think
enjoyment
anybody
there.
would. I think after you've been a mortician for like 6 years, you're just like, what am I gonna not squeeze this guy's balls? Right?
Do you think they like do you think they like figured out beforehand? They're like people in their local town, they're like, you're gonna be so much fun. Like you have fun long arms. I'm
I bet
so
they
excited and jazzed up for when you die. I'm gonna really play with your arms.
I bet they slap the shit out of you.
Oh, I bet they
I bet
do. I
you're on
bet
the
they
table and they're just like, bam! Like they just
yeah.
wouldn't you?
Until yeah, I mean until they start doing sexual stuff. Yeah. They definitely assault the body first. I think they have like a
Oh,
routine.
yeah, yeah. No, I think that's the right order. I think they have sex with the dead body and then they're angry at themselves. But it's easy to take it out on the you slut, and they just
Yeah,
start
yeah.
slapping the shit
hmm
out of
hmm
your grandfather or whatever.
And then they put and they're like, how do you get the cheeks like that? And they're like, it's their
Yeah,
secret.
yeah, yeah.
We use cotton. We
But
use cotton
it's
balls.
chemicals, right? Yeah, it's chemicals. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's how we get them to look so good.
Yeah. Can I see your knuckles? You cannot. It's a trade.
It's part of the trade secret. No, it's so fucking, and they're weird, and they all have sad backstories. They're like, everyone in my family died in front of me all at the same time. It's weird. That whole group of people, I don't trust them. Like, would you, if you were in a room with just them, would you take your eyes off them? I wouldn't.
Do you think at
They're creepy.
parties, when someone goes, "What do you do?" and they say, I'm a mortician, do you think most people have a follow-up question, or do they just go, "Oh,
No, no, because I think you see them at a party, and then I think you go up to them and are like, "Are you a mortician?"
oh, you
And
just
then
can you can tell from across the room
you
this guy
start.
has
I don't think you ask. I think you're a mortician. You're
you're
well dressed. Yeah, you have oily hair. Someone just hosed you down. You've never seen sunlight. You're either that or a vampire. And I don't think vampires are real. So you clearly play with dead bodies.
you would have to do stuff to them.
Yeah, you have to. You got to play with them a little bit. Do you think they look at do you think they check out the genitals every time? They spend like, how long do you think they spend on that? Like a minute?
I don't know. There's just if I found out a mortician was like touching people, I would be like, all right. I mean, like how many?
I think it's like recycling.
How's it
You
like
know,
recycling?
it's recycling. You're done with it. And it's like if someone fondled your trash, you'd be like, oh, whatever. You're done with it. The body, he gets to use it now and do what he wants with it. He's just recycling and reusing the body. You weren't going to use it. You were going to bury it and throw it away.
Do you think they have like in the mortician community, they have like, I don't know, code words for stuff?
Like first base, second base, third base. You think they have that?
But
Do you think it's just those
or
code
it'd be funny if
words?
it was exactly the same. Yeah.
They just read the second base with that body and someone else walks
Yeah.
over. Like, does that mean? Does that
I
mean
got the
something else?
second
And they're
bit.
like,
Yeah. What does that mean? No, it's a mortician thing. You wouldn't get it. It
yeah,
means I grabbed their dead boobs.
yeah, it's different because it's lifeless.
It was cold.
But that was I watched a 20-minute YouTube video about a mortician talking about it. And it was like, I couldn't get past how fucking weird he looked and how he made me uncomfortable.
What was he
I didn't
saying?
like it. He was talking about different questions you would have for morticians. And none of them were just like, ew, question mark, which is what my question would be, just like, ugh. And I'm not trying to like call out a group of people, but oh man, I couldn't. And he
To
got
me,
on camera and go through a whole day where he clearly they don't wash their hair, man. It's weird. I can't get past it. What were you gonna say?
in my head, every mortician has like very high shoulders. Does that seem right? Or they're
Yeah,
like this?
I think they're trying to stave off death by raising, like gravity is pulling them into the ground. They're like have to hold it.
Yeah.
You got to raise it up high to keep it from keeping like death from getting them. And they try to make it seem like they're helping others. Like, no, I don't, when I bury children, I just think about how I'm helping others. It's like, you're not in a way that no one else can. It's like, you're not really, you're not helping them. I've never seen you guys as helpers.
I'm a mortician for the kids. Like, ooh.
Yeah,
When
no.
I'm doing mortician stuff, I'm just thinking about the kids. Well, don't please.
Do you see yourself as like a really creepy first responder? You're not. You're not some benefactor of the community that goes out and helps people. You're creepy and you're kind of unneeded. And
I guess my question to a mortician, it would be like, when you take steps, does it make a sound or is it always like a?
and they can't walk into rooms without being invited, and they don't have reflections because they're vampires.
I was saying they're more like a ghoul of some kind.
Both, either. If you watch the old Dracula, they're that. They saw that style and which went, yeah. I want all of it.
When I think of a mortician, I think of like Nosferatu.
Yeah. They were like, I want, and they're like, they went to like a career fair and they're like, I want this, and they pulled up a picture of Nosferatu and they're like, right over there.
Yeah,
those guys, they'll help you. Like, what do we do? Play with bodies. Perfect. That's what I wanted to do anyway. I know what I wanted to do.
What if we found out it turns out doing all the body stuff, because it usually takes like a couple days. What if you started and they're like, oh, that part takes like 5-10 minutes max. It's like, what are the other days?
Those are our days.
Those are
one day for you, one day for me. That's how this business works.
Yeah.
What if you found out that's like how they had to do it? Like, they're like, the only way to get your grandmother to sit like this is for me to beat the shit out of her body. Just fucking wail on it for like days.
I think they use it as stress balls. And I bet if you're a mortician, you're walking around looking at people like, oh God, if you died, oh my God, what a day that would be for me.
No, that's what I said earlier.
Nah, probably not.
I did that exactly. No, but it's true too. They were talking about it and they're like, well, how do you deal with rigor mortis? And like, yeah, you just flex the thing really hard the other way. And they were talking about it and just ripping people's arms around. Like, dude, what the fuck? How do you, how does somebody figure that out without just like, you figured that out because you wanted to fuck with a body, and then you ended with, oh, now their fingers are more flexible, not the other way around.
They got to be doing like arm wrestling rigor mortis people. Like there's a pot somewhere. It's up to like $100. Who can?
Do you think if you had gone to a career fair and they had, if you were little and they were like, jobs you may be interested, if they had said mortician, do you think you would have been mad at them? They're like, you look like you would like a mortician job. Yeah, you look like you would.
And I'm like a kid at this point?
Yeah, you're a kid. Yeah. There's like, you don't wash your hair well enough and you don't get enough tan. I think you would like this.
It's like before I even know what death, I'm like, what is death? They're like, don't worry about that. Just
you'll get there.
You'll figure it out. Unimportant. Fondle this guy's balls. Did you like that?
Mm-hmm. He's dead.
Okay, here's my question. You are only allowed to eat out of bowls. Every meal must be eaten out of a bowl.
You're gonna have to really make number 2 great. I'm convinced.
Number 2, the second question.
What's the second? What's the other one? Or is it just, do you have to eat out of bowls forever? Yes or no?
Eat out of bowls.
Yes, I'm in. You've got me.
You're at a restaurant. It's a steak restaurant. You have to. I'm sorry to be this guy. Can I get my steak in a bowl? Sir, it's 18 ounces. It won't fit. Can you just?
Are they gonna ask me to fill the rest with water? Like, we have to have a liquid in that bowl, or we can't. We're not allowed to get
you got to eat out of bowls. My question is, suicide? I mean, because everyone will leave you. You know, everyone will.
Yeah, but like, is it worse? I would thought your question was, do you have to only eat out of bowls, or you're never allowed to use bowls? And I think that's a tougher question. I think I could live with bowls, but if you were like,
then how long would it take to kill yourself if you had to only eat out of bowls? Wait, what if you could only use spoons, no forks? Do you think you'd kill yourself?
Yeah, man, you would. Do I have to use spoons, or is it my only option is spoons?
You have to use spoons. Everyone else is using forks, and you must.
No, but what if it's like a sandwich or like a slice of pizza?
You have to use spoons.
I would kill myself if I had to go to a CC's Pizza and be like.
And you're never allowed to explain it.
No, just, can I have a spoon? Like, we don't. They're like, we don't serve soups here. But I go, I know, but like, do you have one? And they'd be like, no. And well, I can't eat this then. I won't even pay for it.
You'd have to bring your own spoon. You would pull out a spoon from your pocket in front of people.
That's a gross spoon. People know, like people are going to be confused, and there's going to be like that is pocket lint on it. I know it does, and you're just going to have to keep eating. Kind of disgusting. I don't know. I think I would. I think I would. I think I would trudge through it. I think it would just be like every time I ever went out to eat with someone, you're like, you want to go to,
Yeah,
the
you
soup
only
place?
into soup places.
And they're like, I'm like, dude, we had soup every night for the last week.
Yeah.
I'm just jonesing clan chowder. I don't know what you're.
Every single restaurant is soup, and after like 15 years of knowing you, one night you're drunk, just like, I actually hate soup. Can I be honest with you? I always hated soup. Soup fucking sucks.
No, it's like the most flaccid meal of all the meals. It's the worst one. It has the least amount of it. Like you've never been hungry and gone, oh, a soup could fix this.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't. You've been like, about to eat a big meal, and someone's like, you want some soup? It's like, I guess. Some soups are basically just drinks too. Like a tomato soup and a Bloody Mary are the same thing.
No, they're not.
They're like the same thing.
I can see that you would struggle with this challenge, given that you don't know what soup is.
No, I know soups. I'm hip to soups. I know about
really?
and stuff. Yeah.
Name 15 soups.
Clam chowder, lobster bisque, tomato soup.
I'm gonna cut away after you just say clam chowder. Like you failed after that.
Oh, my fifth one was going to be Bloody Mary.
Yeah, I bet.
Because Bloody Mary is a soup that you drink in the morning and you put vodka in it because you're old and you're drunk.
Next question. What do you got?
Next question. This is more of like that's what I'm going to do. This is more of a pitch, like a Shark Tank pitch. But how do you feel about if I started a company and we sold like sleeping bags, but made out of like ball sack skin?
How many mortician videos did you watch?
A lot. No, but like if it was made, because in the summer it would get loose and nice and you'd be able to really frolic around, but in the winter it would compact and keep your body heat in. And I would ask for 50,000 for 10%. And I know what you're thinking. That's like a $2.5 million evaluation for the total company, but I think it would sell. I think people would get sweaty, it'd be wet, but I think it would sell.
Yeah, you have a slogan: if it's good enough for your balls, good.
And you could just itch anywhere in it and feel good. You get to just itch it up and feel great.
Do you actually scratch your balls like this? I'd have to pinch and rub.
Go on.
That would be my question as a Shark Tank. I'd be like, can you pinch and rub? I'm more of a pinch and rub.
Yeah, you have to use your both arms though. You kind of do. Yeah. What these? Use your teeth. Yeah, get into it. I think it's I pitched this to like 10 people before this podcast to see if anyone was interested. And I don't know how you would make or how you get that much ball sack skin. I assume you go to the morticians.
That would be a quick question. Yeah.
Yeah. How much where do you get all that ball sack skin? I think China.
I also think China.
I'm not going to ask. I know
I would have no follow-up questions.
Yeah,
would say China. I would say, thank you. Where do I sign?
Yeah. Where do you get those? Would you use it?
The ball sack skin.
Yeah.
Thing that you said?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No.
You wear leather.
No, I don't.
You don't wear leather? Is it because of the morality of it?
No, it's because why would I wear leather? Do you wear leather?
No, but like I'm not against wearing leather. I have no moral quandary with it. What if it was like
that's how I'd feel about the ball sack skin. I'd be like, I'm not cool and I don't ride a Harley.
Oh, cool people wear ball sack. You're telling me you wouldn't even try it? You wouldn't even get in it? What if the inside was fleece?
Then why isn't the outside just fleece?
Because it needs to contract and expand like ball sack skin.
Doesn't most stuff contract and expand?
Not with the temperature, not like my ball sack does.
My ball sack sometimes gets really dry. Will that be a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get so dry. You will need to have a bottle of water that you spritz.
Water won't help. You would need to be like lotioning you have to lotion it up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does it come with any kind of subscription for lotion, or do I have to go buy all this?
That's how we get them. You have to get the lotion and the creams, and you have to shave it.
It grows hair.
You don't want to nick it. It's get a very fine razor.
But how does it grow hair if it's ball
sack skin?
Right, but it's just, you know how leather doesn't grow hair?
Nick, I'm not a scientist, okay? This isn't my area.
I'm more of the idea guy.
I'm the businessman.
And my idea is hair.
And we'll get them on our single razor. You can also use on your face, but we actually are a single razor company and we sell like $50 a blade. And that's really where the market value is.
Wait,
But we first
I'm
need to
sorry. You
get
said this is
them.
a sleeping bag for
Yeah.
camping?
Mm-hmm. Made a ball sack.
So you're harvesting people's ball sacks, and it's just for camping. It's not even for like
Oh,
something
or I
people
mean,
actually do.
or if you're people buy sleeping bags. It's a huge market. The market,
Campers.
it's in $1 billion market.
Could you add the sleeves so it's like a snuggie? So there's one soccer mom like.
No, dude, don't be gross. It's a ball sack. You don't have sleeves. Ball sacks don't have sleeves. They're a ball sack. It's a really big ball sack. What if we
Would
naturally
it fit two
source?
people? One slightly lower than the other?
Yep.
That's a joke. That's a joke, everybody.
I thought this picture's really good. I feel like people are gonna like it.
Okay, what if you found out, when you're on Google Maps and you put in the directions, it gives you like a voice that's like turn here or whatever, like take a left. And what if we found out that the voice in Google Maps was actually our dad, and that's how he's spending time with us? Because all dads really want to do is give you directions to places.
Do they still sound like Siri?
Yeah, I'm saying Brian Hopping disguises his voice. He's like, turn left in 400, but it's dad.
No,
And he
it's
hasn't
not
had a
dad.
job
No, 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 no,
for
no.
like
That would no.
years.
If it was dad, there'd be a long, arduous explanation about the road, the next left, and some bullshit fact that I don't care about.
No,
It's
I'm saying
really
he loves
long.
us so much he resists telling us the history of
No,
I-95.
no, he doesn't love us that much. Our dad does not love us enough to not tell the history of I-95 this long. And you're like, can I just get the next direction? He's like, no, let me finish. Okay. I'm talking
So
now. And then
the
he
word
goes on.
direction comes from the Latin word diarrhea or something.
Yeah. Long explanation. Mm-hmm. No, I don't believe you. And if it was, I'd be very proud
But
of my
what if it
dad.
was? But what you'd be proud of him? You wouldn't be weirded out by it.
Well, I'd just be annoyed that he doesn't do it. It's like if you can hold off your ability to give me a long story, why don't you do it more? Why are you doing it in my personal life? Why can't we do it? Why can't I ask you about your pig cooking thing without getting the history of pig cooking things? Why can you
Maybe
do
you
it?
need to make your questions more specific.
No, this is a call out. This is where I put my foot down right here.
You have to talk to dad
Right
like
now.
a game show. Like, dad, in 4 seconds or less.
Yeah.
How you doing?
No, unless we're on the phone, then he'll kill it. He kills it on the phone. He gets it. He totally.
Yeah, I guess the thing is that's true. Our dad, if you're in person, he'll give you a 20-minute lecture about any topic, and on the phone, I guess what he likes to really see your pained face.
He wants to know that you're
listening
to the.
He lives for those glazed over eyes.
And I think the big thing is, I think if Dad was Siri, there'd be some horrible punny jokes about I-95 throughout it. It wouldn't just be on it. You would hear long jokes, not long, but just kind of these pun dad jokes. You'd hear a lot more of that. I think it would annoy the shit out of you. I'd mute it more. I mute it now. I'm not even going to pretend. I don't care if it's my dad or a woman. I don't listen to it even a little bit. My question to you. Oh my God, this got really bad.
To me?
Yeah, my question to you. To you, the viewer. My question to you is, at what point when you're driving and you have to use the restroom, at what point are you allowed to start breaking the law because you have to use the restroom too badly? And what laws are you allowed to break? If I have to, like, how bad do I have to shit before I'm allowed to start speeding and running red lights?
I would say pretty bad and any law.
Yeah, because I think if you get pulled over and you shit yourself, the cop's just gonna just be like, nope, I'm not touching this.
I think you can do shoplifting.
Yeah.
And incest, which is illegal in many states.
Shoplifting, I think shoplifting, there's a place, like if you're shopping and you're in a long line, you're about to shit yourself, maybe you can run out of the store really fast. But incest, when is there a time?
I think you should be able to collect rainwater.
Is that a law?
Some places.
Do you think it's like the purge?
I think you should be able to serve liquor without a license.
Do white collar crime, like do tax evasion, and they're like, "Did you have to shit when you signed it?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, I pooped so bad, bro. I couldn't even." Yeah, no, I had to do. Were you in a car?
Yeah, you're like pitching people on a Ponzi scheme. You're like, "Oh, the returns are amazing.
They're so good." It's like, wait, are you being honest, or do you just have to poop? And they're like, "No, man, I have to poop." And then they shit themselves. Like, I was lying. All the wind kind of deflates out of them.
You know what? Let's go home.
There's no accounts.
I'm working on this new stand-up joke where the punchline is you can't have diarrhea and eat it too. You can't have your diarrhea and eat it too.
You do that.
Where would one go from there?
I
Or how do we get there?
No.
I tried that on stage today. I feel like I was on an island.
Yeah, you kind of are, man. I don't know where you do. You eat your shit? Like, is that a
No, it's just a saying.
like people that eat diarrhea can't have
have your diarrhea and eat it too. And then somebody you say that to would go, yeah, life.
Women, am I right? Just
Yeah, I think they get it.
I know. I think they totally. You should start throwing that in and see how long it takes before people realize.
Okay, here's my next question. Here is my next question. What would be worse?
Mhm.
You're addicted to cocaine, or you're addicted to doing sleight of hand magic?
Sleight of hand magic.
Every time someone hands you a small object, you make it disappear, and you're like, I'm so sorry. You've got a problem, and you can't stop. Bottles and stuff, you're always doing that, like where you put the thing over it and then it's gone. Yeah.
No, I think most situations, I think I'd pick sleight of, because I think a Coke, I've seen a lot of good people manage a Coke problem. I've seen no people manage a sleight of hand problem well. I've never seen a magician and gone, I want to live your life, but I've seen tons of Coke addicts. I'm like, I'd be you. Your life's awesome.
That's true. And I think there are settings where if you pull things from behind people's ears, you will lose your job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or you get shot. I think if you're in a cop situation and you try to make their gun disappear, they'll shoot you. They'll shoot you right then and there.
Yeah, you got a deck of cards. It's always asking people, anybody got a 52?
You go into a bank, you start making money disappear, they'll get you. It's no good. No, I would pick. I mean, name one magician you'd want to be, even if they're famous.
That's true. Has anybody ever asked like, I feel like you ask a lot of celebrities what they think about being famous, but it feels different to ask a magician because it's like, yeah, I'm famous, but for being a magician.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's kind of like not being, it's as close to infamous as it can be while still being famous.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you would see them on the street and you'd be like, oh, I'm going to avoid that guy. I recognize him and I will not talk to him.
Yeah, he's going to pull out a deck of cards and you're going to be annoyed for 20 minutes. That's what's going to happen there.
That's even if they're good. People get into magician.
You were into magic. I don't know why
you're pretending. Magic. I don't know why you were.
Yeah, I don't know why you were
being
pretending.
Being an actual magician has the same connotation as being like a priest today, where it's like, what the fuck?
Like you pull the crowds, but for what? I think priests, even the pedophile ones, may even have a better connotation than being a magician. Like socially, it's just like, ugh. And I've even seen.
Yeah, I think with priests, because it's like, oh, you probably fuck kids. But I think magicians, it's like, oh, those kids wish all you did was fuck them.
Yeah, they would. It'd be shorter. It'd be faster. They'd be done. They'd be out of that situation and lose way less time than your 20-minute magic show where they have to guess the fucking card. No, I don't think anyone ever wants to be. I think criminals too are more well received. Infamous serial killers, I think, have more actual dedicated fan bases than magicians do.
Yeah, even people, if you're a fan of a magician, how much because if you were like, who's your favorite magician? I would have an answer for you because I have to pick one because that's the question. Mm-hmm. But if you were like, which magician are you a fan of? I would be like, don't ask me that question. That's a stupid question.
Would you pay I would pay to see serial killers. We've had like go and talk to one, or just listen to one talk. I'm more intrigued by what they have to think and say than magicians. I think they have their kind of little niche of life is so dumb and stupid. I'm like, I don't remotely give a fuck what you have to say or think or do as a person. Almost as much as morticians, but less so.
Did you see that David Blaine thing where his
I've
big
seen
trick
nothing with David Blaine.
He had this big trick where he would put an ice pick through his hand.
Yeah,
and he would just stick it all the way through, and people would be like, "That's gross." And then he would be like, "Yeah, but why is there no blood? You notice there's no blood." Like that was the part where they're going to be like, "Oh, where's the blood?"
Yeah, and you find out the trick is just he stabs. Because people are like, "Are you doing it? Are you doing something weird and special?" And he's like, "Nope."
Yeah, he's just like, it's because it's so It's like, where's the blood? You're gross. That's why there's no blood, because you're a gross guy.
This is a hot take. I'm about to do a hot take. Who's the really famous magician that everybody?
David Blaine, Chris Angel.
No, the older one, the really
Houdini.
Yeah. Do you know Houdini died?
Cancer.
No.
A broken heart.
No. No, Houdini died because he had a magic trick where anyone could punch him. Like he'd get really strong, people would just punch the shit out of him, and he'd be fine. It's because he was flexing his abs, and you can take a punch if you're just strong enough. But yeah, someone did it. These kids or younger people did it while he was sleeping because they thought he could just take a punch, and he fucking ruptured something in him, and he died. And he deserved it. That was stupid. That was a dumb trick, and good. Good.
Do you think he
I'm
was still
glad.
performing at the end where they punched him and he's like, oh, and they're like, oh my God, are you okay? And he's like, yes,
I could take it.
yes.
I
Did you
can
punch
take
me?
it.
I didn't even notice. I actually just have to pee.
Yeah, it's a dumb. It's like it almost felt like
Houdini, you're
ironically
peeing
just.
blood. Yes. How am I doing it?
I didn't even put a thing through my head.
Yeah.
How am I bleeding?
That would be
Dumb
if I
person.
were to do David Blaine's trick with the ice pick. My take on it would be instead of that there's no blood, I'd be like, there's too much blood. I'd be like, how is there that much blood? There shouldn't
Like
be
a-
that much blood in the hand.
like a Quentin Tarantino stab through a hose of just fucking
Yeah, it would just
water hits
soak the
everyone.
room.
Yeah, but they're coming for their money's worth. So you like hit every person in the
Yeah.
front row. They're wearing like fucking ponchos and shit. You love
Where did all the blood come from? That's amazing. That's the blood of at least 4 hands.
Would you go to funerals for people you loved if you knew there was going to be a 30-minute magic show in the
If
beginning?
they incorporated the body.
They got the mortician involved.
I bet there is an overlap of people
Oh.
who know magic tricks and people who are morticians.
I bet it's like 90, 95. Like I bet the Venn diagram is closer to a singular circle with a small amount on the fringe of either one.
Okay,
I
my
mean,
next question to you.
Yeah.
Would you loan me
No.
$600?
Is there a bit here? Where am I supposed
You
to
can
go with
ask
that?
one follow-up question.
Can I actually make a statement? Our sister called us the other day and asked me for $500. And then when I asked why, she just hung up.
She was like, oh, fuck, he's on to me.
And then I called her back and I was like, why do you need the money? And she just was like, I want to go to Niagara Falls. And then I hung up. It was a fun little, it's just so.
Okay, but in all seriousness, my next question, serious question.
You know,
You wake up one day and you find out women are equal to men. I mean, what do you do? Like they are like in this
we have to
hypothetical.
lower. Wait. In this
they are
situation, do I
equal.
have to lower my salary to match to make up for their lesser salary? Do we even it out, or how does it? Do they pay them just more and we take less on overhead as companies, or like
You're the only one who knows.
what does? Oh, am I supposed to tell people?
I probably wouldn't.
Jesus Christ!
No, I don't know. Okay, that's sexist. That question's sexist. All right,
That
actual
was
sex.
so bad. Yeah. Is your next one like are black people? It's gonna go from there. Or are you gonna make an actual not incredibly inappropriate joke?
No, here's my question. You remember that movie where that guy wakes up and no one remembers the Beatles?
Yeah.
That's the premise of the movie. It's like everyone except him forgot about the Beatles. What if everyone except you forgot about that movie? Would you even tell one person about it?
No. If you woke up and you realized that nobody had remembered any bad Adam Sandler movie, would you tell people? It's like, no,
Yeah.
Of course I would. How would you explain it?
I would be
How
playing
would you
golf
get?
and I would do a Happy Gilmore thing where I stepped up and then they would go, what is Happy
No,
Gilmore?
no,
And I would say, sit down. And I would tell them the whole thing.
No, not Happy Gilmore, not as good ones. I'm talking like Jack and Jill, like
Oh,
Click.
and like blended
Click.
or something.
Yeah, like Click and all those. Would you even try to explain Click to
Yes,
people?
all of them. I would explain blended. I would explain Terry Cruz's cameo in depth. I would talk about the scene where that kid's on the ostrich and boy,
Dude, people would be angry at you. People would love Adam Sandler, and they'd get mad that you'd even bring it up. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Adam
It would
Sandler
be
would
abs-
never
Yeah, make such a
betray us like this.
yeah, with such a piece of shit movie as Jack and Jill, or whatever, the one where he played both the brother and the sister, and it was horrible.
Yeah, I would explain all of them.
Yeah, people were just like, it was weird that he ended his career so early. He was on the top, and then he just
And everybody would
cut
be
it.
and everybody would be hating you and being like, "That's bullshit," except for Adam Sandler, who'd be like, "That's kind of a good idea.
I like it.
I actually like all of these. They
I
really
really.
connect with me. I don't know."
You would have to explain all of them. Would you tell at least Adam Sandler? Could you imagine being the inside guy for Adam Sandler? Just like, oh my God, just keep telling, I'll pay you to tell me ideas. I'll make
Yeah.
these movies. And every single one people are attributing to you. They're like Nick Hopping ruined Adam Sandler. He keeps telling him these fucking awful ideas, and Adam Sandler just is eating it up. And he's like, okay, Nick, I did the last three bombs. Let's just do one more. That click idea was so good. I can't pass it up.
Yeah, yeah. You have a time traveling and you use it to fart on David Hasselhoff.
He's like, God damn, where are you getting this? It's
And he's like,
gold.
"Do I do other stuff?" And you're like, "I don't remember." That's all anyone remembers. He's like,
He's like,
"Awesome."
that's enough. That's enough. And
Really?
yeah. Mhm, mhm. And then you
Question.
have to convince him to do uncut gems because he won't do it. He wants more of your ideas. And he's like, uncut gems. This doesn't sound good. I don't like this one. He's like, not about it. He's like, I don't know about this one, Nick.
Yeah.
This one's
Too,
weird.
a little Jewy, a little serious. I don't know.
Yeah, I just give me more.
Is Terry Crews in it? No.
Do I fart in the
Yeah.
film? Yeah. Do I fart? It's like I don't. Not that people notice. It's like I was talking to someone about this, and I think I have a. They were talking about heaven, and they were like, they were describing it as just like you just have this amazing, unbelievable like sex. Like that's what would. And I was like, no, I think it's based on the people that go to heaven. It would just be really boring sex. That's what they would. If you were having sex in heaven, it would be unexciting, like missionary. I mean, that's where they get the name from. And then they were like, oh, so then hell. This is where my question is. And he was like, oh, so hell then would be like
I think
that's
that's
where
where
all
they
the
got the name from. Missionaries.
yeah, yeah.
Missionaries would come to your door.
And they would fuck you in a
"Hi,
boring
I'm
way.
here to spread the word of Christianity. Lie down on your back."
I'm gonna fuck you in a boring method. No, this is besides the point. So then they were like, oh, would that would be hell then? Hell would be, and I think hell would be the opposite, but also not in a fun way. I think hell would everyone's trying to like fuck you in the butt and do like crazy shit. And they're like, you want to have sex? I'm like, yeah, let's get on the sex swing. And you're like, no, man, I just want regular sex. Do you
So
think
you're
I'm
saying
right
hell
about?
would be too kinky?
Yeah,
You're like, "Can
that's
we
what
just
I'm.
kiss and go out for frozen yogurt?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"No."
Yeah. And then purgatory, I think, would be like where Socrates would talk to you about stuff. And you'd be like, I want to have sex. And he's like, well, we should chat. And I think sex is only good. The question I'm getting to, do you also agree that you think sex would only be good here? Because there's like regular people. And once you get to afterlife, people are just trying to like either stick to their guns and just be really boring or get on the sex swing. No, I don't think. I think once you die, I think you do either really boring sex or you go to hell and you do like crazy sex and you just can't get like regular shit.
You think you want to have sex?
Yeah, of
You think
course.
you're in heaven and you're horny? You're sitting in heaven with
Yeah.
wings and harps, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah, no, because so
oh."
much of this isn't even my fucking idea. So much of the Bible is about how you need to repress yourself and
"Oh, look at that
not have
angel over there."
yeah, because there's marriage and stuff, and that's one of the you're supposed to not have sex till you marry someone and then have sex with one person. And you get to heaven. Yeah, we're gonna go crazy finally. I gotta fuck, and they're like,
What if you get to heaven and it's Mormon God, and he's like, "Yeah, soaking is fine. Like that actually was not against the rules. That's fine. In the book, I meant for, yeah, if you stick your penis in her vagina but you don't move, it's not sex."
yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. If that's heaven, hell is like we're gonna just sound you for hours, which is where you just put a rod up someone's urethra. You're like, can I fuck someone? Like, not after we're sounding you, bro. That's how we get off here. Like, I think the inverse. This is really where my kind of question lies. I think hell is just too kinky. I think too many people have too many crazy expectations, and I think us as a society to lower our sexual expectations for hell. I don't know if you agree with that, but I think we need to calm down. You're not gonna have your crazy, weird rape fantasy in hell. You're just gonna have normal sex with normal people.
Yeah, you get to you get to hell and you're like, "All right, whose ass am I licking?" And they're like, "No, no, no, you got to like shovel and stuff. It's hell. It's not
Yeah. I mean, you may have sex, but you'll be busy. Maybe get a hand
work. You
job.
got to
Then.
turn a crank. How do you think they get the power in heaven?"
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That'd be a good That'd be
You
a good
world
movie.
building? You
Yeah.
world building right
Hell
now?
produces the electricity and also are the waiters for heaven. It'd be like a real class thing.
Okay,
This could be class and religion
also
tied into
everyone's
one.
wearing sexy black leather and shit. I don't think they're doing that. I think they're wearing regular clothing in hell. I don't think everyone's in a weird leather G-string kind of. All the demons are just. I think they're just normally dressed.
I bet all their. I think if it was really hell, your pants would be a bit too tight, and everyone's pants would be too tight, and you
but
hear
not
people
in a
going
sexy way.
all the
Not
time.
in a sexy way.
No,
somehow
like just around the waist.
Yeah, and somehow it's still loose in the butt, so you kind of have a flat. It's jeans that that when you eat, like those are kind of jeans where you're like, I don't know if I could bend down well. You stress about it every time. You do one of those things where you just like, instead of bending down, you like drop your knees and pick it up. Yeah, because you can't do
where
it.
you look like you're trying to be respectful of the quarter you just dropped.
Yeah, you're like
That's
kind
a
of
very
half
respectful way to pick that up. Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I think hell is. I don't think it's sexy, and I don't think it's. I think it's boring. I think it's kind of monotonous. But there's a lot of paperwork involved. That's what I think sex is, or not sex. That's what I think. That's what I think sex is.
Hey, if you find a classy enough prostitute, sex is a lot of paperwork.
Exactly. When do you think you'll love someone enough to wear their skin? To want to wear their skin? Let me rephrase.
I'm a romantic, so pretty early.
You think like
I'll
third
just see
date?
someone across the courtyard, and I think, oh, I want to wear their skin. Your questions are about skin a lot.
That wasn't actually one of the questions. That was just something.
Oh, you just riffed that?
Yeah, you riffed the skin one. You're on like a third date, just like rubbing the knife across, like, oh my god, it's so pretty. Yeah,
just to make this statement very clear, I think people listen to this episode and think, boy, this podcast is about skin a lot, and I just want to make Nathan's
the last one was
contribution
all
to the podcast is about
the
skin.
last one. I only talked about pooping. Like all of mine. I have my girlfriend read my notebook or write my questions down, and last time she looked at it, it's like, "Do you only write about shit?" I was like,
Manth will actually get mad at me if I pitch too many stand-up jokes that are about poop. She's like, I'm not attracted to you. I'm like, it's art. She's like, you suck. You're bad.
No, dude, I find myself. I think that's a comedian. I don't know. I'm not a comedian, but I think I believe that comedians are always drawn to talking about their poop.
Poop is funny.
Yeah. And I think people that become comedians are people that when they were younger fixated on their poop.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. People
always talk about how it's not the attention that drew comedians to comedy. It's poop.
It's just the only time where you can talk about your poop in great detail and people applaud. They call you a genius.
This kind of leads to my next question. And I think comedians.
Is your next question just going to be like, I killed someone and what should I do with their skin?
Because I, like a Native American, I ate the rest of it, but I have the skin left and I need to figure out how to use it.
I got into a minor fender bender. We got into an argument. I killed him. He's in the closet. His skin's looking good.
looking good. No. I think it's. Have you ever? This has happened to me. But you know when you fart and people kind of figure you out that you farted? Yeah. Have you ever just been like, no, that one was good. No, I think. Like smelled him like, no, I think that one was you. Like I think you
it smells good objectively.
Yeah, like objectively, I think you shouldn't have. Like you could have noticed it, but you shouldn't have called me out on it. You're loving it. Like, have you ever been just proud of your work? That's what I'm asking.
Don't get what is it? Something a gift horse in the mouth. What is that phrase? Yeah. Lick? Is it lick?
I was gonna say, don't fuck a gift horse in the mouth. That feels wrong.
I don't think that's it.
No, it's not.
But it could be. I mean, that also is wisdom.
Yeah, don't.
Even if the phrase was just "don't fuck a horse."
Yeah,
I would still tell my kids that.
There was a man who died from fucking a horse.
Yes, there is.
Getting fucked by a horse. Yeah, but point being.
Do you think there's any man who died from fucking a horse, or he fucked a horse and then he had to go back to his two-legged bipedal wife and was just like, "What is the point of this?" And then he, killed himself.
Have you ever seen that Mike Pence tweet about?
Do you call him Mike Spanks? Have you been calling our former vice president Mike Spanks?
Yeah, Vice President Spanks.
Nathan really likes the Trump administration.
Yeah,
just Vice President Mike Spanks.
But have you ever read his tweet about him riding horses? About that there's no greater bond between when a man rides a horse, and it's this long message, and you're just like, bro, are you fucking that horse? It's like pretty. It's like 20%. How do you think he
got the name Mike Spanks?
Or the horse is spanking him.
Obviously, he's spanking the horses.
Yeah, I don't know how you get back to your wife after you fucked a horse.
After you fucked horses and they're huge muscular ass.
Dude, they have powerful asses. Give them that. I was driving by a horse the other day and I was like, damn, that is a powerful. But then you're like, then your wife's like, why do you have horse chlamydia? And you're like, I don't.
Plus, you know how I think
Like,
it's like older guys like pubes.
no,
I think older guys like pubes. Anyway, with a horse, you're
no,
fucking them and they have this tail of pubes that's like this. It's huge.
no. What I think it
Feet of
is,
pubes.
no. I don't think anyone likes. I think it's one of those things. It's like avocados where everyone says they like it, and you're like, yeah, it's good, but it tastes like shit.
I like avocados.
No, you don't. Everyone's lying. We're all lying about it. We're just telling each other things. It's not. Nobody likes avocados. They're bad. They taste like butter. They have like the consistency of butter, but the taste of like bad. They're like, it's like shitty butter. You want a stick of butter. That's what you want. Just eat it.
You can have both. All right.
How much butter do you eat before it's like gross? Like how much of the stick can you go through? Like tell me when. This is a visual thing, so anyone listening won't get it. I'll give a distance at the end. Dude, this amount of butter is disgusting. If you had a bar this big of butter and you ate it, I'll start again. How much butter?
I understand the question.
This is a second stick. You know, eating a full stick. I watched a video of someone deep fried butter, and I think you would like it. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Are we going to finish the butter question?
No.
And second question, I'm going to need you to back up to capture your full wingspan.
You know what the worst part about
What's
the person?
Nora doing? Can she help too?
She's asleep. You know she just fell asleep. You know the worst part about the person that I saw deep fry butter? He fried it, and at the end he was like, "We're not done yet. I gotta make the glaze." And then he made a cinnamon glaze
and topped it off with you dip it in melted butter.
Yeah, he dipped it. You rub it in butter. And that was like, once he said the glaze, I almost threw up. I was like, that's disgusting.
Okay. Here's another question. You're going through life. Every time you hear someone make a 69 joke, it's the first time you've ever heard a 69 joke.
Is that it? It's just
just think about your life. Someone's like, yeah, 69. And you were like, what is that? They go, what do you mean? And they go, well, it's like oral. It's like everyone's having, and you're like,
no. Because then you would make the kind of faux pas every young person makes when they have sex. And you're like, I want a 69 so bad. And then you do it and you're like, this is terrible. Every time, yeah. Would I know what 69ing is at least?
No.
Or every time I hear one of those jokes, I would then try to 69 someone and then be super disappointed.
And then you think it's also really funny. And you would probably go tell someone because this would be a mind-blowing joke to you. So you would go to your significant other every time and you'd be like, I just heard this hilarious thing today.
I hope someone would tell me. It would be like a 69 tattoo that just explains it. And I would be like, and they're like 69, you're like, my tattoo? And then I would look like, oh.
No, but you would laugh first.
Every time? I would have to just start faking an easy laugh for every joke. It's become very apparent that I don't have a good sense of humor. So maybe I'm just but I can't do the easy laugh just at 69 jokes. That's like if you just laughed at every 420 joke, it'd be terrible.
What if instead of you, it was like your first 69 joke? Every time you heard a 69 joke, the laughter built from the last time. And it just became so funny. You couldn't even stand it.
Oh man, to be honest with you, the first time I even heard about blowjobs when I was a little kid, I was in like 3rd grade, and I was so judgmental about it. I didn't think it was funny at all. I was like, those people are fucking disgusting.
I thought it was like, because they used to say like, what's a blowjob? It's like sucking dick. I thought you literally like sucked on a dick like a straw. Like you just
suck. They force the cum out just from all the pressure buildup.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good at all. It's like, oh, and then you're done. No, I think so. If it was the first time, based on how I took blowjobs, I think I'd be like, that's fucking, I'd get angry at people. I get like irrationally mad. People would be like, don't bring up blowjobs. Don't bring up 69 and anything. They'll get pissed. They'll assault you.
When you would like see movies, like, because like PG-13 movies characters would sort of have sex, but it was always like, you didn't know what was happening. Mm-hmm. Remember, like before you knew what sex was, I would just be like, okay, so you kiss and then sex. You didn't know what sex was. I used to think sex was just a penis goes in a vagina once. It's like, and then they both come. Like, just like come. Like, that's how it worked. It was like,
oh, no. My conception of it was like a man gets on top of a lady and then puts a blanket over him. And that's the end of it. It was very sexy. It was like, ooh. And then I was like, ooh, that's cool. I was like, I don't think that's a very pragmatic way to sleep. I would sleep laying down, but it's cool that you're just on top of her.
And that was
That's
sex.
fun. It didn't go much past that. I was like, ooh, maybe your like genitals touch or something. I have a penis, I guess.
I think
There's
I
something
asked,
with their vagina.
I think I asked mom. I was like, when you have sex, don't you pee? I thought when you had sex, you definitely peed because every time I'd taken out my penis beforehand, I had peed. And she was like, I don't know. I guess you just don't. And I was like, well, what if I do? Like, I was really stressed out by that answer.
I don't know. Now, the only thing I didn't like about all this stuff was I remember in the sex talk, there was just a bunch of pictures of young boys playing with themselves, and I didn't like it. And none of them were circumcised. It was all just them tugging on their skin and shit. And I was like, oh,
There wasn't that.
no, no.
Who did you have the sex talks with? Just like a neighbor?
No. Like the book they had was just every picture.
Who
was
had
a
this
little,
book? Was it
my
an
parents.
uncle who we don't talk to these days?
No, it was this.
Was
It
it
was always
Father Lewis?
had a bunch of pictures of like playing with yourself, and I was like, for some reason, I imagined you weren't like trying to. I never played with myself in an attempt to not masturbate.
What?
Like a girl asked me when I was in college. She was like, "Or when men are in the bathroom, do they sword fight with their penises just for fun? Like do they just play with them and hit each other with them?" And I was like, "No." Nobody's ever done that. People don't play with their dicks like that.
Dude, gay people would be monsters at that.
Yeah, you would,
because they'd be hard as a rock, and then I would be coming out with this pool noodle.
They would get you, and they'd tap you first, and you'd be like, "You're gay." Like, how do you know? It's like, bro, that was a 10-second tap, bro. I can tell.
I was thinking about this. Like, do you think everyone's boner is the same hardness? Like, some people, is it like, yeah, my dick's not that big, but when like my boners are extremely hard. If you were to punch me in the boner, your hand you'd be like, oh.
It would like crystallize.
I mean, it's just harder, just more.
Yeah, my first thought was the only problem I had that is like, could you imagine being like preparing someone for every sex? Like, okay, I have to tell you something. And they're like, is your dick too small? I'm like, no. Like, is it too thin? And like, no. It just doesn't get that hard. Like, are you gay? It's like, no. I'm very into you. It just it gets like a half deflated inflatable mattress or whatever.
I can still come, by the way. It's not a problem.
Yeah,
it's not erectile dysfunction. That's just how hard it gets for me.
But if you lay on it, it will get flat in the center, and the hair will kind of go to the sides. It won't. It's not fully there. Do you have any more questions?
No. Do you?
No. Okay. Two things. Cut that one question about women, or cut the comment I made about Black people. I was like, I wasn't saying anything offensive. I was making a joke about how offensive that joke was, but I was like, I don't care.